Welcome to FRC Media News for Thursday, February 25th, 2021. I'm Keith Tebow. This week, more reaction continues to come in on the allegations against Fall River School Superintendent Matthew Malone. Diman Regional Vocational Technical High School is moving ahead with its plans to build a new school. And the city's Veterans Center is named after its longtime chaplain. All this and more coming up. Let's start with an update now on COVID-19 and the distribution of the vaccine. Today, Governor Charlie Baker announced an expansion in the reopening of Massachusetts. Beginning Monday, the state will advance to Phase 3, Step 2 of its reopening plan, allowing for some entertainment venues and theaters to reopen. On March 22nd, the state will advance to Step 1 of Phase 4, which will include fans at the limited opening of sports venues such as Fenway Park and TD Garden. Capacity limits will increase to 50%, and social gatherings will increase to 100 indoors and 150 outdoors. Now to the vaccine distribution here in Fall River. We are still at a point where those 65 and older and those with 2 or more certain medical conditions are eligible to be vaccinated. The number of doses still remains limited, and it may take time for people to make appointments. Here's the latest list now of the locations in Fall River where you can receive a COVID-19 vaccination. There are still only 2 locations of CVS Pharmacy where you can get the vaccine, at 1620 President Avenue and at 550 Pleasant Street. Call 1-800-746-7287. The lone Walgreens location at 369 Plymouth Avenue is also available for the vaccine. You can call Walgreens at 1-800-925-4733. Stop and Shop on Rodman Street also has limited vaccines available. Call 774-627-1226. The Fall River Department of Health and Human Services is still providing vaccinations at Bristol Community College. You need to make those appointments online. Please do not call the college as it is not coordinating appointments. Health First Family Care Center on Quarry Street continues its vaccination process. You can call 774-627-1226. South Coast Health has reopened its vaccination site in Fall River at the Liberal Club in the South End. You must be a patient and be part of the My Chart application to reserve a spot. Please call South Coast Health for more information. And the former Circuit City store on 479 State Road in Dartmouth continues to be open as a mass vaccination site. You can get the latest vaccine information and an updated list of sites in Fall River by visiting our webpage, frmedia.org/COVID-vaccine. Mayor Paul Coogan tells us the city is still in need of more doses of the vaccine. He says the city is now part of an effort with the state to do a better job at reaching out to those who are eligible to be vaccinated.
What they want you to do is target populations that aren't necessarily in line to go get a vaccine. They might not want it. They might not have all the information. So I think what's going to happen is you're going to see a door-to-door campaign in some of our targeted neighborhoods where we try to get people to understand that the vaccine is the way to go, and it's part of the state program that designates Fall River as one of those 20 communities. So I think that's what's going to be going on around the state, and they want to make sure that everybody that wants a vaccine can get one, and the people that don't want to get one, we bring them into the fold, and hopefully they'll get one also.
There continues to be more reaction to the allegations of inappropriate behavior by School Superintendent Matthew Malone. Mayor Paul Coogan issued a statement this week expanding his thoughts on the investigation into the superintendent and showing zero tolerance when it comes to ensuring all employees are treated with dignity, respect, and professionalism. During our weekly interview, the mayor clarified his limited role in the school committee's investigation.
I want people to understand that I didn't say, oh, good, take me out of here. I wanted to get into it. My request to the ethics committee was actually designed on a way to get in, but after they examined all the facts, they said I could not participate. Others were allowed to participate because between the designated employee that they put on their ethics report and the superintendent, there were buffers. It might have been a vice principal, a principal, a department head, or an assistant superintendent. That's what the difference was. in my unique case, my brother reports directly to the superintendent, so there was no buffers in between my brother and the superintendent, and that was why I got the ruling I got. But I do want people to understand that I don't shirk my responsibilities. I wanted to participate, but the ethics commission ruled I couldn't.
The Fall River City Council this week voted no confidence in School Superintendent Malone, sought his immediate resignation, and asked that a report on the school committee's investigation be released immediately. The council voted 8-0 on the matter, with Councilor Brad Kilby voting president. Councilor Kilby's wife is a teacher within the school department. Councilor Sean Kadim co-sponsored the no confidence vote along with Councilor Michelle Dion. He said despite not having jurisdiction over the school department, the city council has the obligation to represent the residents of Fall River in criticizing the lack of action by the school committee to hold the superintendent responsible for his actions.
We have an individual who is paid a lot of money to lead a school district and is creating a hostile work environment, is practicing discrimination, sexism, retaliation, and it's ongoing. No one can claim that I'm not consistent on how I handle things. When I see an injustice, I want to right it. People can suggest that there's a personal reason as to why I'm doing things or a hidden agenda, which is not the case, but people have the right to their own personal opinion. But what I will say is that this is very consistent with what this council has done, or the stances that the council has taken against Mayor Jason Correa. Okay, we had city council, school committee members who were constantly texting us during those meetings, calling us, applauding us for our actions. Okay, telling us to take a stance and do everything that we possibly could to have and apply pressure to an individual to be removed from office when we had no authority whatsoever to do.
Following its investigation, the school committee amended the superintendent's contract as punishment, reducing his salary by $17,000 and inserting language to allow the committee to terminate the superintendent without cause in the future. Other councilors shared similar opinions on the need for Superintendent Malone to step down. Councilor Linda Pereira supported the motion but was concerned that no information has come forward on why the school committee decided to retain the superintendent.
They're not giving all the right information. When I look at this and I say that this resolution is a lack of confidence on Malone, is it a lack of confidence on members, our elected partners in the school department? Is it a lack of confidence in their ability to vote appropriately? I don't know what went on in executive session. I don't know if Attorney Assad gave them some type of guidelines. I don't know if he said there was enough, there wasn't enough. I don't know. By what I'm hearing and what I'm seeing, I'd say, get rid of them. But honestly, I think the biggest gripe that people have is not knowing both sides of the story.
City Council President Cliff Ponte called upon the immediate release of the school committee's investigation.
If there isn't an issue with this report, this mysterious $25,000 report that nobody could see, then release it. Let us all read it and let the community read it and determine what the other members of the school committee decided to go against for whatever reason that was. If he did nothing wrong, he used a bad word or quote, he was a meanie, then let's read the report. Let's see it. That's what I'm calling for. I'm going to continue to call for it. And I'm going to then suggest that we perhaps get a resolution, or I'll ask to make a motion. I'll relinquish the chair and do so and get a motion to release the report immediately if there's no issues. Let's hear it. Let's see it. Let's read it. And then we can all worry about this at another point.
A subcontractor working on the construction of the new BMC Durfee High School this week posted on social media a series of allegations that the lead contractor of the project, Suffolk Construction, had been taking shortcuts and not attending to details of the project. Mayor Coogan responded to the charges, saying the city is well aware of the problems at the site.
The issues that were brought up in that letter are well known to the city. They're well known to the building committee, and they're well known to the entire team up at the Durfee construction site. That gentleman put together a laundry list of things that we've been addressing. We're as part of the building oversight committee. We meet on Thursdays. These things come up. I've toured the building a number of times. We have two people up there, in Glenn Hathaway and Chris Gallagher, that work for the city, that are routinely walking around the building, doing inspections, as the gentleman noted in the letter, diligently protecting the city's interest on this building. I think, all the things he's brought up in that letter, most of them are already fixed. Some of it was dated, and there's probably some other issues there that are underlying that whole post. I think these are things that go on in a $263 million project. When we want the school 100% correct, when we take it over. The hiccups along the way, large or small, are being addressed, and they will be addressed as they come up.
The mayor says despite any obstacles, the school is still scheduled to open coming this fall. The State Commissioner of Elementary and Secondary Education this week announced his intention to seek approval to bring back all elementary school students to in-person learning in April. Mayor Coogan says the city school district will be ready to act upon that order.
With the new ruling, busing, and with some of the other things going from 6 feet to 3 feet, we're going to have to reconfigure our classrooms again, and we'll do whatever the state feels is best for the kids. I'm an advocate for getting them back in school as much as possible, because I think I was reading a story this morning on in the Boston Globe about mental health issues related to students and young people, and it's not good. None of the statistics are in any way, shape, or form good, and we have to make sure that we get these kids back, especially, I'm thinking, the end of the year, because as we transition to next year again, God willing, this COVID numbers will stay trending down, and we'll get people vaccinated, and maybe we can get closer to normal next year. But we want the kids back into some kind of a classroom learning setting this year, so that when they walk in next year, it's not going to be, like day one again all over.
At a special meeting of the school committee this week, Superintendent Malone unveiled his plan for a $179.4 million budget for fiscal year 2022. The superintendent's plan is $8.5 million more than this year's budget. Despite a drop in enrollment, the city is being bolstered by additional funds allocated under the Student Opportunity Act, which will increase funding for urban school districts. Under the plan, the city will be spending $15,000 for each student served within the school district. Superintendent Malone says the budget is realistic and meets the needs of the district while retaining jobs.
I think we've done a really good job. We also have some strategies in here, use of one-time funds, that we could use one-time funds to pull money out of the budget, using ESSER funds or other, we could free up one-time funds in the current budget, operating that we could hire more capacity to do more work. I feel really good about this budget. Let's just say this again, 5 years in a row, ain't no criticism in this budget. This is about investment in people. Even though there's conversions, everyone will have a job, everyone has a place, and that's 5 years in a row we've done without pink slips in this district. We're also building a brand new Durfee High School. We have money to help support any additional operating costs that will come as a result of that. So that's 5 years. Now, I hope I've been presenting to you of substance. I hope this has been something that you can see is real. And you can also see it's an important of our investment in the future of this district.
The budget proposal is approximately 0.5% above the required state net school spending for education in Fall River. Superintendent Malone says the plan also calls for the addition of 66 new positions to work directly in providing service to students. The school committee will be holding hearings on the budget in the coming weeks before approval of a final spending plan to be included in Mayor Paul Coogan's FY 2022 city budget. We'll have more FRC Media news right after this.
Here are some job descriptions on the latest hot jobs list from the Mass Hire Fall River Career Center. Janitorial crew member. Surf Pro of Fall River, located at 292 North Main Street, is looking for a full-time janitorial crew member to perform all duties related to maintaining the general cleanliness and safety of the main floor, restrooms, and back offices. Job number 145-49864. Pod Monitor. People Incorporated, located at 4 South Main Street, is in need of a full-time pod monitor to assist students with online lessons and assigned activities in Google Classroom, Seesaw, and other online applications used in the public schools. Job number 145-57756. Education Coordinator. Family Service Association, located at 101 Rock Street, is seeking a full-time education coordinator responsible for all education staff related to ensuring staff-children ratios, staff observations, staff schedules, and curriculum implementation. Job number 145-30507. St. Anne's Hospital, located at 795 Middle Street, is in need of the following full and part-time positions. Cardiac Ultrasound Tech, job number 145-49157. Nursing Assistant, job number 145-49048. Primacare, located at 277 Pleasant Street, also is in need of the following full and part-time positions. Accounts Receivable Representative, job number 145-56390. Medi Weight Loss Office Coordinator, job number 145-56151. For more information on these or other positions, visit Mass Hire JobQuest at jobquest.dcs.eol.mass.gov or call the Mass Hire Fall River Career Center at 508-730-5000.
The COVID vaccine is a critical tool to protect yourself and in the pandemic.
But you might have questions about its safety.
The same safety measures used for all vaccines were used for the COVID vaccine.
Tens of thousands participated in vaccine trials to prove it's safe.
Since then, millions of people of all races and ethnicities have gotten the vaccine and experienced only mild side effects.
I got the vaccine to protect myself, my family, and my patients.
When it's your turn, trust the facts. Get the vax.
Welcome back. Diman Regional Vocational Technical High School has presented its plan to the state to begin the process of funding the construction of a new high school on Stonehaven Road. Diman Assistant Superintendent and Principal Andrew Rebello says the school started to investigate the need for a new school back in 2017. He says it's more cost-effective for the school to construct a new building than to renovate the current facility, which was built in the 1960s.
So we did look at addition and renovations, and like the things I cited, a school that's out of compliance, the issues with the HVAC, plumbing, and additional issues that would need to be fixed through a renovation. Once you start working on a project, you have to address every issue that comes up. When you're talking about a building from the 1960s, a renovation to this school, along with an addition, is not as cost effective as a brand new build. So that went into making a decision for our school building committee. Again, we had an entire committee scour over every single detail, every single dollar. We're not looking to present a school that is going to purchase the high end of everything. We want a very cost-effective school. So when we looked at all the numbers, the addition renovation was not as cost-effective as a brand new school, and that's why we went into in that route.
The new school will be located on the site of its current athletic field and will not impact education during construction. The cost of the new school, although not fully determined, is estimated to be at between $265 and $295 million. The state is expected to reimburse the school for 69% of the project's cost. It's unclear how much taxpayers in the district's 4 towns of Fall River, Westport, Somerset, and Swansea will contribute to the project. Mr. Ribello says the new facility will increase enrollment to 1,500 students, up from the current capacity of 900. He also says the new school will have the opportunity to grow its academic and technical offerings.
This is an investment for our community. We're already supplying the next generation of workforce in this current building that was made for 900 kids, shop spaces that are not adequate for the modern vocational education programs. So we're really looking at adding to some of our programs to our existing 18. We're looking at program 19 and 20 to really expand the options for kids, but also take in more kids. Like I said, we have 700 applications for 375 seats. The demand for Diman is real and it's needed, and there isn't a better time than now. I've learned that in these situations, when you have a reimbursement rate of close to 70%, you have to take advantage of it in that moment. These situations come, once in a lifetime. So, the awards, the accolades, the life-ready students that we're producing speak for themselves, but we're going to make sure we educate our community to ensure that even the slightest uptick will be an incredible investment for this community. Like I said, a vote for a new Diman is a vote for a better future in our four towns.
The Massachusetts School Building Authority will begin assessing Diman's proposal very soon, with initial approvals expected later this fall. Mr. Ribello says if all goes well, construction of the new Diman could be complete in 2026. Fall River's Veterans Center on Pine Street was named last weekend for former VFW Chaplain Kenneth Boyer. Chaplain Boyer passed away last year and personally participated in dozens of graveside burials for local veterans. His son Dan provided insight as to how his father personalized his eulogies for each lost veteran.
As chaplain of the VFW, Ken Boyer performed over 500 rituals in and around the city of Fall River for veterans being laid to rest. And if you're ever fortunate enough to see it performed, it was a challenge to keep a dry eye. If I can paraphrase some of that ritual here today, he would start by laying a flag along the side of the casket of the fallen veteran. Give the veteran a long, slow, deliberate, and respectful salute. Quietly, he would pray for the soul of the veteran. He would then turn and recite a ritual that he had committed to memory. It was 6 paragraphs long, and the 4th paragraph was different depending on the branch of service of the departed veteran. In the case of my father, it would read, "Our departed comrade of the Navy no longer hears the call to general quarters. All hands man your battle stations. He now rests under peaceful skies." He would continue with, "May each of us, when our mission or battle of life ends, find a stay free from scorching battlefields, storm-tossed seas, or dangerous skies." Finally, in concluding his ritual, he would turn again to the departed veteran and give him a final salute, and then condolences to the family before departing. It was a noble and solemn ceremony, a ceremony befitting the sacrifice the deceased veteran made to the service of our country.
Chaplain Boyer was always at every veterans event and parade. His presence will no doubtedly be missed. We'll wrap up this edition of FRC Media News right after this.
Hi, welcome to Hot Dogs and Cool Cats. Today we have Lionheart. Lionheart here is a long-haired 6-year-old, as you can see, brown tabby. He is a very sweet boy, loves to get pets, loves his attention. You may not be able to see it on the camera, but he did come to us pretty underweight. He's pretty bony. We're working on bringing his weight back up. He's got a very distinctive face, very broad, very big eyes. It's very different. He's a very, very nice cat, as you can see. He does interact well with other cats. We've had him here in our communal room for about a week or so now. He would do okay with kids. So if you'd like to meet Lionheart, you can come down to 300 Linwood Street in Fall River, Massachusetts at Forever Paws Animal Shelter.
Today we have Sophia. Sophia is a 9.5-year-old Chihuahua. She was surrendered to us. It'd probably be best if Sophia was in a home with no kids. You know, she's older. You know, she needs a quiet home now. But this sweet little gal, you know, she's a little older, but she deserves a loving home. You know, if you want someone to snuggle up with you, Sophia might just be the great choice for you.
Today we have Sammy. Sammy here, he's a 2.5-year-old, as you can see, gray, short-haired cat. He is very outgoing. He does do well with other cats. He might actually do very well with dogs too. I think he would do very well with children. As I said, he's very outgoing, very much likes affection. And so children being around him, being respectful of him, enjoying him, he would certainly enjoy them. He can be a very playful cat, as you can see. We've got the wand here. So if you'd like to meet Sammy, you can come down to 300 Linwood Street in Fall River, Massachusetts at Forever Paws Animal Shelter.
La vacuna contra el COVID es una herramienta muy importante para protegerse y terminar con la pandemia.
Pero tal vez tenga preguntas sobre su seguridad.
Para la vacuna contra el COVID se siguieron las mismas medidas utilizadas en todas las vacunas.
Miles de personas participaron para demostrar que la vacuna es segura.
Millones de personas de diferentes razas y etnias han recibido sus vacunas y solo han experimentado efectos secundarios leves.
Yo me vacuné para protegerme a mí, a mi familia y a mis pacientes.
Cuando le toque a usted, confíe en las pruebas. Vacúnese.
That's all for this edition of FRC Media News. Please visit our website, frmedia.org, for all the latest news and information, as well as updates on the distribution of the COVID-19 vaccine here in Fall River. FRC Media News airs Thursdays at 6 p.m. and Fridays at 5:30 p.m. For all of us here at FRC Media News, I'm Keith Tebow. We leave you this week with a look back at last week's Winter Bridge kickoff in downtown Fall River. Winter Bridge continues on Fridays and Saturdays through March 20th. Have a great weekend, and we'll see you next Thursday.
Honestly, I wanna see you be brave, wanna see you, I just wanna see you, just wanna see you, I wanna see you be brave, wanna see you, I just wanna see you, just wanna see you. Everybody's been there, everybody's been stared down by the enemy, followed with the fear and under secure and bow down to the mighty. Don't run, just stop holding your tongue.